Hi besties, and we back. Okay, yes, I'm really clear. Elephant in the room, elephant's clear. Cool. Let's get on to the topic. So last episode I asked you guys to drop down in the comments, how do you feel about friendships fading away when you enter a new stage in life? And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really get many comments. But that's okay though, because we still on and we popping up in here. So the questions that I did ask some of my close family and friends about how they felt about it, I had one person tell me that that was never really your friend and y'all shouldn't have been friends because they did not value you and they never cared about you and didn't love you in the first place, which I kind of feel like is a little, I don't know, I feel like that's a little crazy to say, but that's just how she felt, so can't really be mad at her. And then there's other people who have kind of said the same consensus, like some of my other friends that were like, oh well, probably just grew apart, or you know, sometimes people are only friends with you when you're in their face because it's convenient. Some people are not good at being long distance and anything, friendships, relationships, stuff like that. And then we get down to the nitty-gritty of how I feel. When it comes to moving away or getting into a relationship or, you know, having children, some people are better with people that match their lifestyle, and some people are better with people who have their own lifestyle. And that is just how it is. I don't think there's too much of a consensus on whether that person was or wasn't your friend in certain cases. I genuinely think though that like when it comes to people who are not really your friend, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, those behaviors act accordingly in those spaces at all times. But in some cases, they only act accordingly when you're not around. You know what I'm saying? And then you find out about it after you're already gone, and people have felt like, well, you're far enough away where we can tell you, or it's starting to become us now, so we're gonna vent to you and then tell you about what was going on, and them people not your friends either. So yeah, I do think that it's different. Some people, if you have a kid and your friend doesn't, they just don't know what that lifestyle is, and sometimes they don't want to be friends with people that have kids, and they're okay. That's okay. You don't have to be friends with no one that have kids. Some people don't want to have kids or don't want to have kids around them because they just don't like kids, or they never want to have kids, or kids just make them feel uncomfortable. And whatever that is, that's their own prerogative. Like, you can't be like, you can be mad all day long, but what you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it, for real? Exactly. So some people just don't have that like understanding. And then sometimes in relationships, if you're a healthy person and your friend is not a healthy person, and you're trying to be in a healthy relationship and that unhealthy friend is always coming around, it's gonna mess up that healthy relationship, baby. You gonna have to find you another healthy relationship. You gonna have to cut that friend off. But if, or vice versa, if you're the healthy friend and your unhealthy friend gets in a relationship and they got an unhealthy relationship, you gotta do what you gotta do in that situation. Whether you cut them off, keep being friends with them, whatever you want to do, that's what you gotta do, because you know your lifestyle. And then if you are just one of those friends who can be friends with someone that's single and you're in a relationship, or vice versa, then that's good too, because people just be like wanting to be around people that they feel like they can relate to, and sometimes that kind of just spills into the community of confusion, because you're like, come on man, come on, like we were fine, we were vibing, we're good, our personalities click, but the minute that you guys don't have much to relate to, which is okay, you guys have to spread your wings and fly different paths. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really doesn't, it shouldn't affect too many people. I think the only problem that comes with the fading away is, one, you miss that person, you've had a good relationship with them, you've made all these connections, you've made all these memories, and now it's kind of like you guys don't know each other, and that's kind of like a breakup within itself, because you break up with some of your friends, sometimes those friend breakups are hard, and it sucks to like, you know, move away, or, you know, not see this person, or they just no longer talk to you because you guys aren't close by. It kind of feels like, oh well, maybe like I didn't mean that much to that person, or maybe I was more of their friend and, you know, whatever. But sometimes I just think of it as like, well, maybe we just ran its course, and if we ever come back around each other and we're around each other, we hang out, we chit chat, shoot the shit, whatever, maybe we'll have a better relationship. Or sometimes you have those friends where like, y'all ain't gotta talk, but when y'all see each other, girl, Gus, and you back, or homie, you feel me? Like, you just back like you never left. And personally, I think sometimes those relationships are cool. Some people do have like attachment issues, which is, I see a lot of that with my generation and like late millennials. Like, everybody's so, don't leave me, I'll stay. But some of those people are not healthy, and everybody's not supposed to be in your life that you've met in your life. And I had to learn that the hard way too, because I always thought like, okay, we're friends though, like we can work through anything. Some things are not meant to be worked out. Some things are meant to run its course and be what it is. And if you can't accept it for what it is, then you're never gonna grow. Like, some people hold themselves back for those friendships, and it sucks. And sometimes when you have space in between you and you are forced to grow, excuse my voice, y'all, I'm kind of losing it a little bit. And you're like forced to grow, it's hard. It's so hard, because you're like, oh, but then who am I gonna do this with? Yourself. Or you're gonna meet new friends, and you never know. When you get that space and you join mommy clubs, or you go to a different state and you're going out to different places, brunches, dinners, seminars, whatever you do, and you meet those new people, those are going to be your close people. Those are going to be people that you're in close proximity to, that you have stuff in common. And even if you do keep your friend that's far away, that's still good, but you still have the option to go out and be social with other people, instead of just being like, oh no, I'll never leave my friend, like they're all I have. No, they're not, love. You have yourself, and you have other options. And a lot of people don't like that though. There are a lot of people are possessive over human beings, and I can get with that. Like, I'm possessive a little bit, and I used to be very crazy about the whole, no, you don't have no other best friend, I'm your best friend, because I didn't have no other best friend, and I felt like if I'm gonna be the only best, you're gonna be my only, you can only have me. But sometimes you grow up and you realize you can have other best friends. Just, you can have other friends. I don't really care. Our relationship could stay the same. I would like that. Or we can, have a better friendship, or whatever the case is. But I don't want to feel like I'm being replaced if we're really friends. Now, if we're not friends, you just need to have that conversation. And some people don't do that. Some people just jump to conclusions. And some people don't know how to just converse and be like, hey, I feel like you're cutting me out. Or, hey, you moved away and I don't want to sound whatever, but I miss you, and I don't know if I can be friends with you so far away, or something. And that's also like brings me back to the other episode where I talked about being ghosted. Some people will ghost you if you move away. They will ghost you. They'll ghost you, babe. They'll be gone, and they won't have any remorse, because they feel like, some emotionally immature, and some people who just, they just don't know any better. They feel like, oh, well, you left me. You're doing this to us. If you would stay, we wouldn't have to go through this. I can't come visit you, or I won't come visit you all the way down there with those new friends of yours, or whatever. Some people just be hating. Yeah. They just be hating. They don't want to see you doing better or different than them. Sometimes it's hate. Sometimes they don't like you because you got out of a place where they felt like they should have been out first, or you should have never just left in the first place, and y'all supposed to be there together forever. Some people just don't know how to handle it and don't know how to act. And there's a lot of different ways that you can go about distance when it comes to moving away, having a child, getting married. Some people just don't want to see you in those places, and some people just can't handle the responsibility of being a friend to you, or still communicating with you, or whatever, anxiety, depression, whatever they have going on in their lives. It's just something that they got going on. And I'm not making excuses for people, because if you're a crappy friend, you're a crappy friend, and you need to learn how to be a better friend, and to be there for your friend that's dealing with life. And if they move away, or if they start different journeys in their lives, support them. And if you can't support them, leave them alone. Don't try to sabotage them. Don't try to bring them down to your level. Leave them alone and let them be happy, because everybody don't get their happiness. But don't steal their joy just because you are afraid of change. Don't do that. Change is hard. As a neurodivergent baddie, I get it. Change is disgusting, if you will. Repulsive, honestly. But in order order to grow, you have to change. So hi besties, thanks for watching another episode of Midnight Modules. As always, subscribe to my YouTube channel and add me on all social media platforms. Bye.